Dear all, welcome to the last day of this series of webinars for younger researchers from European countries. We are getting to the end, but we still have a lot to give. Today we have two presentations on the new generation of the researchers, and that will bring new insights of the patient safety research and the second victim phenomenon. To start, we have with us Angela Kannukene from Estonia. Okay, Angela. Angela is a PhD student from the University of Tartu, Department of Internal Medicine. Her field of study is patient safety on the topic of Estonian adverse event study for multimorbid patients. So Angela is also a resident of internal medicine of the Hospital of the University of Tartu and have currently just completed 3 years of residence. So Angela, the floor is yours.
Hello. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to present in here. I will introduce our plan for the adverse event study for multimorbid patients, and I will give you a bit of the rationale why we are studying it and some of the background. I'm the first year student, so unfortunately we don't have any data yet. My supervisors are from Estonia, Kaja Põlluste and Margus Lember, and from Spain, Carola Orrego. From the background, as you all know, the patient safety is the cornerstone of healthcare quality, and it is of the utmost importance that we give the healthcare for the patients as safely as we can. We have defined an adverse event as is from the IHI white paper as an unintended physical injury resulting from or contributed by the medical care that requires additional monitoring, treatment, or hospitalization, or that results in death. From the previous literature, it is known that about 10% of patients in hospital have an adverse event, and half of these are preventable. We try to focus on the preventable adverse events so that we can reduce them as much as possible. Most commonly, adverse events are associated with medications or operations. We have decided to focus on multimorbid patients. One part because they are so common in internal medicine. There isn't much data about scientific data about the patients, so we have to we need and we want to have more data so we can treat these patients more efficiently and better. We have defined in here the patients as multimorbid when they have at least 2 chronic conditions. There is data that shows that the multimorbid patients have longer hospital stays, and when they have more conditions, they have more hospitalizations and higher mortality. And we try to find out if the higher mortality and more hospitalizations are somewhat caused by the adverse events. And as multimorbid patients have more medications and more complex care, it is possible that they have more adverse events. There are different methods to find out about the characteristics of the adverse events. There are different methods. Common one that is used are voluntary reports, which are also used in Estonia, but it is shown that the adverse events are chronically underreported by voluntary reports. There are chart reviews that are very resource intensive. So we have decided to use the IHI Global Trigger Tool, which is a two-stage retrospective chart analysis. The first stage consists of searching for markers or clues by two people. And the second stage, when the marker is positive, the chart is checked and a doctor determines whether the adverse event has happened or not. This method uses markers or clues that an adverse event might have happened. For example, they may be an abnormal laboratory value or falling. These are currently in the IHI Global Trigger tool. In the English version, the triggers that are used, the triggers are checked by the current situation. For example, if the patient is from intensive care, there are specific things that are checked. The method has been previously translated in multiple languages, and it has been also changed a bit by the situation and country. For example, some countries don't use Benadryl as much as the other antihistamines, so they usually change the Benadryl from the list and put some other antihistamine in there. The aim of research is the validating, adapting, and implementation of a global trigger tool in the care of multimorbid patients in Estonia. We hope that if we have translated the tool and validated it, it will be used in multiple hospitals in Estonia in the usual care and in the improvement of patient safety. We will try to assess the incidence, prevalence, and nature of adverse events among the multimorbid patients in Estonia. This has not previously done before. And in the novel approach, we will try to develop and test a real-time machine learning system of adverse events based on the automated trigger tool. We hope that if we can find the triggers that the computer can also find, we can have the system that can alert the working physician that there may be an adverse event happening, and this could reduce and mitigate the effect of adverse events in current time, and this could potentially reduce the incidence of adverse events. This part will be a feasibility study, so we will try and see if that works. The first stage of research, we will try to translate. We will be translating and validating the global trigger tool. The second part is the retrospective chart review study using global trigger tool in 2 Estonian tertiary care centers. Estonia only has 2 tertiary care centers, so that will be all of them. And the third one will be a feasibility study using the machine learning system. Yes, and do you have any questions about anything?
Thank you so much, Angela. We will now move forward for the debate, and now we open the chat for people that is seeing us on YouTube. Please just, if you want you at home, at work, at university, if you want to do some questions regarding this presentation, please do it on the chat on YouTube. And I will just start this conversation now after your presentation. Thank you so much for your inputs, for your... This is just starting, right? So
Yes.
yes. So it's also important to have the new ideas, the new research that is upcoming, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so important to have this. And I will just start with the final part of your presentation. When you talk about the innovation that you are thinking about bringing the machine learning system, mm-hmm. And you told us that to find this trigger, mm-hmm. the technology can help us to do that, and then to reduce the incidence of the adverse events. So can you tell us a little bit more about this? I think it will be important also for people that is watching us on YouTube to know a little bit more about this.
Yes, at the moment we have, as far as I know, this has not been tried before. The search of the triggers have been automated before, and it has been shown that this may be effective in the long run, but the article I read is from that wasn't the main purpose of the study it was done in. We hope that if we find the triggers and we... yes, at the moment we have, as far as I know, this has... Something happened, I think.
Yeah, but now I think it's okay.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, sorry, it was maybe just a delayed something that happened, but it's okay now. You can go forward.
Yes. We hope that if we can find the triggers that show the large that when the triggers happen, the large amount of them result in an adverse event, the machine learning system can find some background data that will show that in this case the trigger will happen more often, or in higher probability. It can find dangerous places quicker than the human can. We have there will be another doctoral student helping with us from the Department of Computer Sciences that can help us with with the technological part, but mainly the most important part that we do is we find the triggers, and we will try to find as much data about the patient as possible and put it in files so the machine learning system can find the times. Sorry, I can't remember the English words. A moment.
No worries, no worries.
The patterns. So
okay.
Yeah. Yes. So
yeah, it's very interesting, this way of thinking about how machines can help us in trying to reduce the human errors, right? Mm-hmm. Because we are human, so it's allowed to err, and we, as we talk the last presentations, we are not heroes. We are not the Iron Mans, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's important to have tools to help us. So it's a great work, the thing that you are doing, and planning, and please go on. And we are really looking forward for seeing your results, and it's a great work. And another question that I have is, as a resident, you are working in a hospital, and now you are finishing your third year. I don't know if you already finished or if you are in the last moments.
I have finished the third year. Yes.
Yeah, just finished. Good. Okay. And as a resident that was working and studying also now in the patient safety field, can you give us some inputs regarding also, you told us about the medication, the medical reconciliation, all these issues that it's so important to have in the practice. And you as a resident, how was all of this world for a resident?
There is in Estonia, I think at the moment the main problem is that medical errors or the error that the medical personnel can do, it is criminalized. So that if you do an error and you are sued, you can go to prison, and it has happened recently. So we have a culture when you try to hide that you have done an error, because the problems that can come from this can be really, really big. So at the moment, although all of the hospital personnel and medical personnel want to change the culture that we can openly discuss these problems and try to find the solutions rather than blame people. So, and as a doctor, I have also made mistakes, and I have made serious mistakes. And I think most of them have been brought on by the systemic problems like workload and these things, which can be made better if people talk about them. So I really hope the culture changes in Estonia in the future years.
Yeah. And it's not in Estonia, it's a little bit worldwide. So we have some countries, some healthcare settings that it's already changing, but we have a lot to do also, and we know the way, but it's really necessary to start to change the culture. And it's also the residents and the young professionals that are coming with these new and fresh ideas. And as we talked yesterday, it's not, sometimes can be a little bit difficult because, residents normally are the new ones, and they have the others that are older professionals, and normally you have this kind of impact, but it's not the way that we want to see this, because it's important to have a change, and it's important also to bring new ideas and also listen them. So and of course it's normal that things go wrong. So because we are human, we need to also to learn with our mistakes, and and this really needs to change, not only in Estonia.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another question from the YouTube saying, thank you very much, Angela. Very interesting. Which data are you planning to input into the later analysis?
This question.
It's regarding the data. Data that are you planning? Yeah.
Yes, I have 3 parts of the research at the moment, and at the moment, I didn't understand if they meant the incidence study or the machine learning study. They are both the later stages of research. Can you clarify this?
Okay, I will wait for the answer. If it's regarding the learning machine or... Okay. We don't have the answer yet. This is something, yeah, sometimes can be a little bit
okay,
tricky. Yeah, but you can, yes, you can give your ideas, and then if I see something answered in YouTube chat, I will tell you. Yes, but go forward.
Yes, in the incident study, we will we will collect the patient characteristics. We will collect the diagnosis. We will collect how long the patient has been in a hospital, and whether there has been an adverse event or not. Of course, whether the adverse event has happened has to be determined by the global trigger tool. So this can be done only after we have completed the validation and translation study. And in this incident study, we will do quite the standard of the usual global trigger tool that this has been done before in the other countries. Using the global trigger tool, we will find the incidence, the prevalence, and we will try to focus on the multi patients. Yes. The machine learning system is a bit more difficult because we will try to collect as much information as we can to the documents we will present to the Department of the Computer Science. So we can maybe find some information, some patterns that humans cannot think about or will not find. But we basically have we have electronic health systems. We can collect the electronic data. So most of the data will come from the health system. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we already have the answer. It was more regarding the machine learning part.
Yes.
But you gave us also the answer, so you gave us a much more completed answer. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, so I think this is the thing that you are doing and planning. It's really great. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We are really looking forward for seeing your next steps, for also try to see the new data that is coming. And when are you planning to for example, to start to the next publication, to see some results in 1 year, 2?
In the first year, we will do the translation study. We hope to finish and publish the translation study results in the end of this academic year. And we hope to do the incidence and prevalence study during the next year. So, and I think the machine learning will take a bit longer because it's a more complex study.
Yes, indeed. Okay, thank you so much, Angela, for your participant. Okay, we have thank you. It's very valuable, the answer of Mirka. Yeah, it's and I also want to thank you for your presentation, for your collaboration in this. It's great to have you here. and we're really looking forward for seeing your results. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela. Now we will do a break around 30 minutes. We will start again for the next webinar at 11. So please, if you want to see the other webinar, you will have another link in your email. So please check your email to see this link. And also, if you want to ask us something regarding the webinars, regarding the presentations, please just do it on info@costends.eu. And we are here to give you all the information. Okay, see you soon in the next webinar and looking forward to see you there. Bye. Thank you.